Good evening, ladies. How are you doing tonight? I hope you're doing well. Tonight is our Thursday card class, our regular card class. Okay. I will give you about a minute to hop on with me. When you get here, please say that you're here. We are doing gift card holders tonight. Hi, Doris. So our gift card holders that we will be working on tonight will be 2 birthday and 2 Christmas. So the first one we're going to do here will be the first birthday one. So I'm just going to kind of show you what we're doing. So it will open to the right. Over on this side, hey Cindy, will be the gift card holder side, and then we open to the left, and that's what we have so far. So why don't we get started with this one, which is super fun and super duper easy. All right, I'm going to set this piece aside because we will come back to that in a moment. You will have a blue piece that is 2 by 3 3/4. You will also have a green piece, a confetti piece, along with another square. Well, it's more like a rectangle because it is 3 3/4 by 3 1/2. You are going to have the pocket part, which I believe I did thumb notch it for everybody. We are going to have the sentiment, and that's what we're going to start with. So let's crease that. I need a bone folder. Let's see, there's one. So I'm going to set it in this pile. Then you will have a piece of clover that is 5 1/4 by 4. And then we will have another piece of white that has also been scored for you. So we're going to fold that. So this is what it looks like. So let's start with the large green piece, the 4 by 5 1/4. That is going on the inside of the card. Well, hello, Jennifer. How are you? So I am going to put my adhesive on the light side because I want the green side. Just a second. All right, let me see if I can tag somebody. All right, let's see. I don't know if she's going to be able to see it. So Patty's on, Jennifer's on, Cindy's on, Doris is on. Awesome sauce. Let's get ourselves rolling here, girls. So we're going to do that 4 by 5 1/4 piece, and that is going to go on the base, not where the score line is, but to the right of the score line. So let's put that on and center it the best that you can. Okay. We are going to fold this left side flap over, and I'm just going to re-crease it. We are going to put the green down first, and that's going to go on this flap. And why is it so big? Did the person cutting make the wrong cut? As usual, that darn cutter. That is 2 3/4. So if yours is too big, you need to cut this down to 2 1/2. So let me grab my paper trimmer, and I am going to cut upside down for the fact that I already have adhesive on mine. So this needs to be, oh, it is 2.5. So what in the world? What in the world is going on? Oh, because it is 2.5. We want it to be 2.25, ladies. So if yours is too big, just slice this down to 2.25. I tell ya. All right, now let's try it. Oh, there we go. It fits now perfectly. So when you are placing this on, you are going to really want to make sure that it lines up with the top of the green and the bottom of the green. Okay? All right, let me do one more thing. We have one of the ladies who can't get in. Just a second. I am so sorry, ladies. I'm trying to get Valerie into the class. And now she's typing something. So while we're waiting, ever so patiently. Oh, she's there. Okay. Okay, she's here. Yay! Hey, Valerie. Okay, we just started just a little bit, so you have not missed much. You have not missed much at all. Okay, so what you're going to do is on that big, large piece of white, to the right-hand side of the score line, you will put that large green. That's the first thing. The second thing you need to do is fold this to the left. This green, I'm going to guarantee I cut it wrong. So you're going to need to cut about 1/4 inch off. So this needs to be 2 1/4 inches. The width or the length is fine, it's that width. And then we're going to put this pretty blue side. Now if you prefer to use, oh, I think I'm changing up. I think I'm going to use this pretty blue side. And I just, never mind, I found my adhesive. Because ladies, you know, I lose my adhesive all the time. Okie dokie. So I'm going to put that side down. I'm going to set all of this aside. So far what we've done is we've done here and we've done this green so far. Those are the three parts that we have done. Now we are going to focus on the white that has our sentiment. Okay, so we want to make sure that the sentiment stays down on the left-hand side, and we're going to fold this over on itself, give it a good crispy edge, and we are going to put the green down first. Okay, so do that now. Okay, next we're going to put the confetti piece next, because I don't want that piece. I like the confetti. Plus it won't fit. So let's put our confetti piece down next. All right, now you're going to open this up and we are going to attach the plaid. But when we go to attach the plaid, we only want adhesive on 3 sides. So I'm going to put some adhesive along my bottom. And I'm just using my tear and tape. You can use score tape, you can use liquid adhesive, whatever is your preference. So I'm doing the right side and the left side along with the bottom. I am not doing this top section because that's right where our gift card would go. So I'm just gonna varnish those in, and now I'll peel them up. What an absolute beautiful day today. And of course, tomorrow it's going to be warm again. I'm kind of ready for sweater weather. And we are going to place this on that right hand side all the way to the bottom. Now you may need to do a teeny tiny little trim. And if you do, do that now. Like, I mean, it's ever so tiny of a trim. And I guess I put this a little too low. There we go. Okay, so now we want to open this up right where the sentiment is. We are going to fold it over, and we are going to put adhesive on the back of where the sentiment is. Now I am going to use a little bit of tear and tape only because this is the element that will have more movement, more hands on it, so to speak, because it's right where your gift card is going to go. So I just want to make sure that I am really putting some strong adhesive so it doesn't come apart. There we go. So I'm just pushing those in to make sure that they're really into the paper. And now I will peel my backing. Okay, now let's get ready to put this on. So I am going to open my flap. So I'm going to open all of this. So this is how it's sitting right now in my hand. And I'm having this side here still folded. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lightly glide this piece in. Now I haven't pressed anything down. I'm getting it to be right where I think I want it. I want it down just a hair bit more. Okay, that's right where I think I want it. And it's only about 1/4 of an inch from the right hand side. So now I'm gonna press, I'm gonna open, and I'm gonna press a little bit more just to make sure that all of that adhesive is really adhered to the base of my card. Now I can close, and that's where it's sitting so far. So I'm just going to slide these things over, and I'm going to bring in my sweetest birthday wishes. And we do need to do a tiny bit of coloring. Not much, because we're going to let the glitter glue, the stickles, speak for it. Okay, so I am going to take dark red, and I'm using the lightest shade. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to outline the cherry. That's it. And then give it a little bit at the bottom. And now there is some white space open. Let's bring this down a little bit for you. There you go. I'm going to leave that space open because when I add the, we can go a little bit lower. There we go. That's a better. I'm going to fill that in with the stickles. Okay. So that's all we're going to do with that part. Now I'm going to take my True Blue blend, and again, I'm going to use the light, and this is going to be my frosting. So for my frosting, I am going to just outline the 2 layers of frosting, and I think I want it a little darker than this. So that's very light. So let's not use that color. I'm still using this color. Let me see what I wrote on my notes. Oh, I did say light. That's weird. All right, I'm actually going to go to dark because I believe it is the dark side. Oh, it is. There it is. Okay, so all I'm doing is the outline. I don't want anything else colored in. So just do your outline. Now with my green, and it is light green, I'm going to use the medium shade. And what I'm going to do is I am just going to outline the banner. So just like we started with the cupcake, I am going to go back to it and finish the cupcake. I'm going to do the liner. Because when I originally had designed this card, I had colored everything in with the marker. It was too much. So then I did it a second time where I just outlined everything and then outlined everything with the stickles, and I felt like, okay, that is perfect. Now, I did not do this top part here, but I think it needs to be done, just like so. But I am not going to do that crevice around the top of the cupcake because we're going to actually use our blue for that. Okay, now, oops, I didn't do this bottom part. Oopsie daisy. Completely missed that. And I will do the edge of that. All right, now we can do our cupcake, and I am going to alternate between the red and the yellow. So I'm going to pull in my red again, and it's the dark red blend, and I'm using light. And all I'm going to do is do the outline. Now that first one, it kind of closed it in on itself only because it's so skinny. And now I'm going to use gold yellow, and that will be the medium, the middle color, because it was a little bit closer to the yellow that's in the card. Okay, so we have everything outlined with our markers. Now we are going to fussy cut this, okay? So let me grab my scissors, and I am going to raise the camera up just a little so that you can see the fussy cutting. And for that, I'm going to start at the edge of my cupcake. And all I'm doing is going slow and around. And that's a little too much paper. Let's take some of that off. And now I'm going to go around the beginning part of wishes, or the ending part of wishes. I'm going to go up to the Y. And I'm on the edge of the Y. And now I'm going to bring it back in and let it come up to the sweetest on the banner. So I still have this little bit here where there's nothing. So I'm just going to clip that off. This is going to be an easy cut through here. through the top part of the sweetest banner. And we'll do the top. And right there. And now we're going to come around from the top down to the B in birthday. And that I'm going to keep it very, very tight. So I just went straight down, and now I'm at that loop of the B, and I'm actually going to cut around that. So let's go around, and then you're going to come back down, and we're going to do the bottom part of wishes. Right up to our cupcake. And I am leaving a little teeny bit of a border, not much. Okay, and now I'm close to having this done. And it's done. Okay. And we will be putting foam on the back of this. So, let's see. Yeah, I'll just use this. So I'm going to put foam on the back. Add as much or as little as you want. Now I'm going to be a little more generous with my foam, only because once I add the stickles part in, it will kind of be heavier on the card, so to speak. So I'm going to put some right there, and I think I'll put a little bit right here. Okay, so I have all my foam on. I'm going to bring this back in, and we're going to take that backing off. Now, if you don't have stickles, you can use a shimmer brush if you want. You could use the liquid pearls, because some of you might have some of that. Really just about anything that would have a little bit of shimmer and glimmer to it is what you're going to want. Now mine have the actual color inside it, so maybe you only have like the glisten, so it's kind of more on a clear-ish side. That's totally fine. Okay, I'm going to place my birthday wishes right on top of the confetti. Okay, now using my green, and it's just called Stickles Green. This was close to my heart. All I'm going to do is and I'm really close to being out of it too, so I'm just kind of dragging it along, and I'm doing this outer edge. And now I'm going to come back in, do the outer edge of the word sweetest, right where we did the marker. So this is basically going over the marker. Now, if you don't have it at all, you could finish coloring it all in. That would work. Okay, so that's all of the sweetest, and now I'm going to do along where the wishes. We are not touching where the word birthday is. I'm going to go right down that edge. Just like that. And we are going to repeat the same process with our other colors. Okay, so there is my green. Now I believe I'm going to do the cherry. So I'm going to kind of work my way down. So I'm going to do the cherry next. And this one I am going to color it all in because I really want that cherry to be emphasized. So just like that. And this one is that Christmas red. Let's do our blue. And the blue I am using is called True Blue. And I am going to color that in as well, so that my frosting looks like somebody had put that edible dust, glitter dust on it. All right, next. All right, so this one, we need to be a little careful what we're doing. So I'm going to do my red, and I'm just kind of doing a line, but I'm spreading it with the nozzle. So there's my yellow. I'm sorry, my red. I do know my colors, I promise. And now I'm going to do the yellow. And the yellow is just called yellow. Okay, and there is our first card. Isn't that fun? Such a fun card. Just be careful if you did put the stickles on it so that it will dry. All right, that's card number 1. We're going to mosey on to card number 2 now. And card number 2 is our feminine birthday card. So for this one, oops, I did not pull my markers for this one. You will have a flower. You are going to have a little bow, or not a bow, a knot, glitter circle. You're going to have a butterfly-ish piece. You are going to have 2, they're leaves. I was having a blink there. Then you're going to have the first part, which is the sentiment. You're going to have a polka dot along with another piece of mulberry. And then we're going to have a mulberry stripe. And we're going to have a piece that is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so let's get ourselves started. So the first thing that we need to do is we are going to put our stripe on the 4 by 5 1/4 piece. So this piece is going to get our stripe. So let's do that first. Now, if you prefer to flip it, that's totally up to you. And all I'm going to do is center this. Okay. Next, I am going to put my polka dot onto this smaller piece here, which is 2 by 4 1/4. So we are going to put our polka dot on there. Okay, just like that, set that aside. Next, we are going to take this longer piece, which is your 3 by 8 piece, and we are going to fold it down. Fold it down and use your bone folder and give it that nice crispy edge. And then we will take this pattern piece and place it there. Okay, now the next job that we need to do is we need to turn this over because it has to lay on our card right here. And then this will flip up, and then we will attach this piece, which is right where your gift card will go. Okay, so let's put this piece down next. So I'm going to put just my regular tape runner. I am going to be very generous with it. Okay, and it will be placed. Let's just take a look. Almost 3/4 of an inch down. So let me get myself there. And I'm going to place it approximately 3/4 of an inch down. And I'm just going to flip this up because that will help me get my adhesive in. Perfect. Okay, we're going to keep this flipped up. Now we're going to take that 2 by 4 1/4 inch piece. I'm going to turn it upside down, and we are going to put adhesive only on 3 edges. Left side, bottom, and right side. That's it. Because again, you need that spot for the gift card. Now this one does not get notched because your gift card is going to go up and down. I'm going to take my backings off. And this is going to go all the way to the bottom, right to the bottom edge, flushed. Flush to the bottom, flush to the left, and flush to the right. Just like that. And then your gift card will go right here. And it will go up and down. Now let's get ready to finish embellishing our front. I'm going to take my glitter circle and I'm going to put that on next. Okay, I'm going to color my flower. And this says I used colored pencils. So I'm going to grab out my colored pencils. And let's see what I have. And all I did was write colored pencils. I did not specify any colors. All right, but that looks pretty close. And let's do a green. I think I like that green. And these are just my colored pencils from Close to My Heart. So I'm going to do my green for my leaves. And just a little bit at some of these bottoms before the blooms come out completely. So those little buds. All I'm doing is just coloring them in. Perfect. So now I'm going to do my flowers, and I'm just using, this actually is bubble gum, so it's like super old. So I'm just gonna color these flowers in. Color in those little buds. Sorry that the camera's shaking. And I am applying some good pressure to this. And now I am going to pull another pink, and of course this one does not have a name on it. And all I'm going to do is just add a little more depth to those insides of my flowers, just of those 3 open ones. There we go. Much, much better. Okay, we are going to put some foam on the back of this. Put a little piece there and another little piece over here. There we go. Okay, so before I go to put this on, I'm not going to peel my backings off. I want to first get my little leaves in next. So I'm going to grab my liquid adhesive. And I'm going to use that. And I am going to put it on each of the leaves. Okay, why isn't it? Let's give it another little poke. All right, now let's try it again. There we go. And I am going to be a little more liberal with the adhesive, just because it is going to be sticking on glitter, and I don't want it coming off. I'm going to show you a trick after we have these on, how to make sure you get your foam to stay. So this first one, I'm going to kind of have it tucked sort of there. Okay, and I'm just going to really smoosh that in. I'm going to put my flower back on, and I'm going to do the other leaf. I will move this video over to YouTube over the weekend. And now I'm going to tuck this one over on this side, right there. But like I was saying, this video will get moved. So if you don't get the cards finished tonight, or those of you who will be watching it on replay, you can either watch it here or over on the YouTube channel. Okay, so now I'm ready to put this flower down, and I'm going to peel the backing off of my foam. And now, using my liquid glue, I'm going to add a little bit of liquid to the foam tape itself. This way I know it is going to stick for sure. So now I'm just pressing, making sure it's all adhered, because that glitter kind of doesn't like adhesive for some reason. All right, next, all we have left to do is add our bow. So I'm going to grab a glue dot. And there's one right there. I'm going to put it on the back of the knot. And I'm going to put it at the base of the flowers. Now I think those are a little long. You can trim yours. You can leave it the way it is. Totally up to you. I just felt those are a little long. And I am cutting on a diagonal like that. And that is our second gift card holder. Okay, let's set that aside. And we are going to bring in the first Christmas one. So here's what it looks like, and I'm just going to lift it up. So there it is. Let's set that to the side. So you're going to have a cute little banner that says Happy Holidays. We have the beautiful little snow globe, and we are just going to color a little bit of the tree. You should have a diagonal cut piece. You will have a rectangular cut piece, a piece of, let me think what the color is called, wisteria. And then we have the sentiment, thinking of you during Christmas season. We can fold that in half. Let's give it a good crispy crease by using your bone folder. And then you will have a piece that is 4 by 5 1/4. Now, this piece is going to lay smack dab in the center. Okay, so let's get our adhesive on that. So you want to remember, though, the sentiment will be at the top. And down below is going to be empty. And that is the side that I put my adhesive on, is that empty side. And that is going to get centered on my 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm just going to center this in the best that I can. I'm going to open that up and just kind of press that all together like so. And while we have this open, we are going to put our triangular piece, and this is right where your gift card will lay, will be inside this triangle piece. So let's get our what's it called? Score tape. And you are only going to put adhesive along the bottom of the triangle, so the straight edge, and then along that side. Remember, nothing along the, I can't even remember what that part was called in a triangle. So if we were looking here and here, nothing along this edge. So if I fold it, turn it back over, this edge is completely empty of adhesive. So basically it would be like your bottom and the left. Actually, it's the bottom and the right. So this I'm going to put to the bottom of the white into the edge of the white. And your gift card will lay right here inside that cute little pocket that we just created. Now let's fold that back down, and we are going to decorate the front. So we're going to put the little leaf paper on top of the wisteria. And I'm just going to center it in the best that I can. Now I'm going to put my adhesive on the back of the wisteria. And this is going to get centered on that white piece. Just like that. And now we're going to take our banner, and the banner is going to go towards the bottom and it will lay flat. There is no foam on the back of this because we're going to put foam on the snow globe. Okay, so I have it at the bottom. I have it closer to my left versus my right. Now we're going to color our tree a little. And I used colored pencils again for this. And I am using Super Duper Old, and I'm going with Olive for the tree, because it is closer to the rosemary that is your base. Now there are little ornaments, so if you want to be careful when you're coloring that, you can. Now, like over the bow and the little candy cane, I just colored over that. But the little ornaments, I did not. My Christmas decorations will be going up in a month. So I will start on November 1st. I would love to have some of it up for those of you who are coming for the Christmas card workshop, but Matt does not want my trees up yet. Okay, so there, I colored it in green. Now I'm going to pull a yellow just to do the star, and I don't think there's a color. Nope, no name on it. No color name. And then I am going to do the ornaments in yellow. Oops, this one I accidentally colored green. Okay, I'm going to pull a brown for the tree trunk. It's not a good brown. Let's see if I can find a better brown. That's definitely more of a reddish color. Yeah, that's definitely red. And that's not what I want. All right, let's look for a brown. Okay, here's one right there. And this one was brown bag. There we go. That's much better. And now I am going to pull in, it's called Dutch blue. Basically like a lighter blue. And all I'm going to do is this little bit right here along the top. And now I'm going to find a gray. And I'm going to do the bottom of the shaker. Or the snow globe, I should say. Bottom of the snow globe. And all of this now is going to get foamed. Okay. Hey, April. how are you doing? And we're going to place our snow globe to the right of the word happy. And now I used Cool Mint because it was close to this lighter color. And what I'm just going to do is ever so lightly, I'm going to do parts of the snow globe. I'm going to do these little snow bits. Now for my Paper Pumpkin subscribers, your next alternative has been posted, so take a peek at that. Your due date is quickly approaching because I will need to start the cutting process. So take a peek at that. And I am going to do the snowy part down here. And just like that last card, or the first card I should say, I'm just going to spread this around with the tip of the nozzle. And that one is done. Was that fun? So you would open it and your gift card's going to go right there. So awesome. Okay, let's get ready for the last one. Okay, so your last one, you should have like lots of parts. Okay, so for this, you have a long piece of white, and that is 4 1/4 by 11. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we are going to fold in on itself, fold back, and then fold in on itself. So you're going to be making like a W. All right, we are making a W. So I'm going to open this up too. And then I'm going to burnish all of that. So let me show you what ours looks like. So it's going to look like this. You're going to open it, and this piece is right where your gift card goes. But we can't slice this until we do a step, okay? So I'm just going to set that aside. I'm going to set all of this aside because what I want to do, hold on, I just got to double think. Yes, okay, so I'm going to go to the back side. We are going to put our adhesive along here. I'm going to put my adhesive here, the bottom, and the top, or the top and the bottom. Okay, so we're going to do that. Let's peel that off. And we're going to bring those two together to kiss. Okay, so that's now on the inside. So we closed it up, and this is what you should have. Now, I went to go thinking, oh, I could do this part for you. No, I couldn't, because if I sliced the little smidgy off, you end up with two pieces. So that's not what we wanted. So what you're going to do next, okay, so after you have closed this, you will get out your paper trimmer. Oops, I'm upside down. There we go. Now I'm going to put this into my trimmer, but I'm not going to take much off. I'm going to go right to the 1/8 line. So that is going to be the first longer line after the gutter of my trimmer. So I'm going to go right there. And all you're going to do is you're just going to slice that little bit off. But the key was you had to seal up that spot. So that spot now is right where your gift card's going to go. Okay? And if you have a thumb punch, you can give it a little notch. Because I was thinking, oh, I could do that part for you. And when I went to go cut one, I'm like, no, I couldn't. Because then it cut the card completely apart. While we have this here, let's get out our 2 zip strips. And those are going to go on either side, just so that we have a little pretty decoration. You can put it all the way to the bottom. You can give it a little bit of a space, whatever you think. And the beauty is you kind of see right where you put it on the other side. And there we go. Now I do have a little bit I might need to trim, but I'm not going to, so I don't slice it. All right, now we can close this and we can start our decorating process. So you're going to have all kinds of bits and pieces for this. And we're going to place our red down first. And I'm just going to center it. Yeah, I do need to do a little trim. Okay, there we go. That's a little better. Okay, we're going to put our polka dot down next. It will eventually lay flat. It's just right now it has a lot of thickness. Okay, so I'm going to put that down next. All right, the next thing I need to do is I'm going to put this little red banner towards the bottom because it's right where I want my reindeer to sit. So let's place that there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to let this sit for a bit and we're going to build our reindeers. Reindeer, whatever it is. So you might want to set your wreaths aside, the little berries aside, and your season's greetings aside. I'm going to set all those up there. And we're going to build our reindeer. Okay, so I am going to start with the dark face. Now you can add a little bit of blending to this if you want. I am not going to, just because it's probably going to go to like one of my nieces or nephews and they're not going to notice. So I'm going to use my liquid adhesive and put that on. Now this is going to go on to, so the dark is going to go on to this medium head. So it's going to look like that so far. Okay, so now all of this component is going to go onto the light, and then we'll do the same thing with the other reindeer. So I'm going to use my liquid adhesive again. And this is going to now go to the rest of the deer so that we can get those antlers. Now this was a Stampin' Up! Die and stamp from last Christmas. It is, I don't think it's still available. I think it's gone. So now we have one deer done. Let's do the same process with our other deer. This time I'm going to use the light face. It's so cute. I'm like, oh, I kind of need to have this one. And it's going to go on to our medium. Kind of pinch it till you get it, and then we're going to use our liquid again. And this time it's going to go onto the dark base. Just like that. So now we've just created our two little reindeer. And I'm just checking to see what is foamed and what is not. Okay, so the only thing that's going to be foamed will be our season's greetings. We're going to take our lighter deer. We are going to put a little bit of liquid adhesive down here at the bottom. And we are going to tuck his body, so to speak, through the wreath. And I'm just squeezing. That's all I did. I just squeezed that little bit. Okay, so he's going to be like that. And we're going to repeat that process. So let's put our liquid adhesive down at the bottom of our deer. We're going to grab our wreath. We're going to stick him in the back of the wreath. So part of him is on top, part of him is on the back. And I'm just squeezing to make sure that I'm getting the adhesive on, getting it good and juicy on there. There we go. Okay, so now, oops, wrong card. I'm going to place one reindeer here and one reindeer here. That's why I haven't glued them on yet, because I wanted to make sure that I have them both situated so that they look like they're on this red banner as a shelf. I'm just going to use my bone folder to hold everything down. I'm going to leave one on. I'm going to take one off. And now I'm going to use that liquid adhesive again. And I'm really going to be generous. I'm going to go around the back of their head, around the back of the wreath. And I can put the first one on. And I'm going to let it overlap a little on that red shelf. Okay, that reindeer can move for a second. And I'm going to hold and press him down. Now I'm going to repeat the process with my other deer. And I'm going to place him on next. And if their ears overlap a little, it's okay. We're going to add our berries. Now you definitely want to use liquid adhesive for this because the berries are, you're going on to glitter. So, and you might need to poke the little berry holes on them. There we go. And I'm going to put one berry over here to the left. And then I'm going to do a berry on the right. Berry over here on the right. Oops, see? It doesn't want to stick. So let's add a little more there. Okay, now we're good. Now I'm going to put a little foam on the back of my sentiment. And this is going to go towards the bottom in the center between the two deer. And there it is. And once you have it kind of like with all the rest of your cards, it will lay flat. Okay. So you finish that up, and I am going to grab our cards for November and December. Okay, I'm going to raise the camera up just a bit. There we go. So our November cards will be Christmas cards, and they are different than the workshop. So you have this gorgeous one with the gold. Isn't that just so elegant? And this one flips up. The second one has more gold. I kind of stuck with the gold theme, I think. And what's neat about this one is when you fold it back like that, that's then when you will open the card and see the sentiment. It's kind of a fancy fold. Isn't that fun? I love that gold. All right, the next one is going to utilize, there was a ring that comes from this when I die cut, and here it is right here. With this beautiful bird and then those sprigs and berries, and then the inside. And then the fourth one is this cute Mr. and Mrs. Claus, and this is actually called a book binder card because this side looks like a binding of a book. So they're completely different than the workshop. Now the workshop is almost fully prepped. I am waiting for cherry cobbler to arrive. I ran out of cherry cobbler. And our December class is fancy folds. So our first fancy fold, when you open it, it looks like that. And then this tiny little strip will lay within right there. And this is called a bay window card because it looks like a bay window. Okay. The next one is this, and I do not remember the name of this one. But it will hold open like that, and then you would bring it over like that. So they can hold it, keep their card open like that, or that can slide back under, and then you see that cute little square. But what's beautiful about this is it will fit in a regular envelope. The next one is a corner fold card. So when you open here, it opens like that. How fun is that. That's so much fun. And then we have a double, I think this was the double gatefold. You slide your belly band off. You open just like your gatefold. Oh, it's a gatefold easel card. Gatefold. And then the easel will go like so. I don't know if you can see. There we go. So it's an easel card, but it's a gatefold card. How fun is that? So that is our December card class. Now I am getting ready to start working on our calendar for next year. So what types of cards do you want? Type them in the chat or type them in the comments so that then I can see what you're thinking and I can get started on that. All right. So have a super evening. And again, this video will move over to YouTube probably on Sunday. All right. So enjoy your rest of your evening and have a fantastic Friday and a super weekend. And I will see you all on Sunday for Sunday Fun Day. Good night.